There was a guy that held up a Bible a few days ago, and I'm reminded of a story in that Bible. It seemed that there was a commander-in-chief of a nation long, long years ago, but it sounds familiar, who decreed that anybody that came into his presence should bow down and worship him. Otherwise, he would get exceedingly angry. Because he was the one, you know. He was the commander-in-chief. Well, there were these three old boys. They hung out together. They were called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Names from the past. Tom, Dick, and Harry. You can call them what you want. Well, they decided a long time ago, before the commander-in-chief, that they worshiped God and God only, the creator of all that is. And they weren't going to bow down to any human being. Well, you can see where this story is going. Well, the commander-in-chief heard that these boys, these three guys, would not bow down to a golden image he had made of himself, even though he had decreed that everybody should. So he called them in. They didn't bow down then. So he was talking with them, and he says, if you don't bow down to me, you're going into the furnace. I'm going to throw the heat on you boys. So he had this furnace there that he could burn people in. And he said, heat that thing up many times hotter than it usually is when I throw people in there. Because he'd already destroyed quite a few people. Really, they destroyed themselves, but that's another story. So they heated it up, and it was so hot, that furnace was so hot, that it burned up the guards that were standing around it. So somehow they got the old boys in there, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and the king was looking in there from a safe distance, I suppose. And he saw there were 4 people in there. 4 walking around. He said, didn't you throw 3 in there? And the guard said, yeah. He said, all right, simmer it down and bring them out. They came out, wasn't a hair on their head singed, and their clothes were still mighty fine. The commander-in-chief's wrath did not touch them, even though his wrath was 7 times hotter than usual. The 4th in there was God. And that's where we are today. God, by whatever name you call God, the Creator, the one who breathes us, the one who cannot be named. There is no name that really fits. But one we all know deep in our hearts and souls, if we but listen, walks with us. And we don't have to bow down to anybody, not even somebody that holds up a Bible.